Okay, marhaban, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. Well, you're making great progress through the alphabet. We're about halfway, so we're really going right through this. And hopefully by now these are getting much easier to process. So today, let's jump right into it. Today we have 4 letters. They're 4 consonants with very simple, similar shapes. And these are our 4 remaining non-connecting letters. Told you at the beginning we have 6 non-connecting letters. We learned aleph, we learned waw, because we remember that ya was that tricky one. It's the vowel that is a connector. Okay, so we have 4 more to learn. We're going to learn them all here. They are very similar and they don't change much in their shape. So let's go and do them. There are 2 basic shapes we're going to use for these 4 letters and they're only slightly different. So let's look at the first one. We're going to do something like this. Okay. Now, you notice you'll see a lot of variation on this in the degree, but the important thing is that it's not, you notice it's not 90 degrees up and down. There's a little bit of an angle. Now, I don't want to go too far for an angle. If I go too far and make it too long, it starts to look like a ha. Okay, but notice I have just this shape here. Our second shape is similar, but you notice how this one definitely bends. When it hits the line, it makes a bend. Our next shape is going to start out very similar, but it's going to have one continuous curve, and it's going to go below the line. And there tends to be a lot of variation with this because this is a neat one. You can sort of curve this line up and make it look very neat, but it's very clear what we have here. These 2 are very different, and this is why you want to make your bend very distinct. You don't want to make something that looks like it's halfway in between these. I can't tell if it has a bend or not. Okay, so these are my 2 shapes that I have. Okay, now in terms of variation, I said that we have 4 different letters. Well, the only difference is a dot, and in this case it's only 1 dot. Okay? So I have this shape without a dot. I put a dot on top, kind of following the line like where it would be if you continued on the line. Same thing, I have this shape, no dot. I have this shape with a dot. Right? That's the only variations. There's no 2 dots, 3 dots, no dots on the bottom. This is it. These are our 4 basic shapes. Now, as I said, these are non-connectors, so we don't have to worry about them changing shape. The only thing that's possible is if there's a letter beforehand, it's going to connect into them, but they can never connect to what comes after, so their shape isn't going to change much at all. So that's 4 letters that you just learned that are actually very simple, so this is probably one of the easiest lessons in terms of writing that you have. Okay? So far, we've only talked about the writing. What about the sound of these? Okay, here are my 4 letters, right? 2 basic shapes, dot, no dot. Now, the other good news is that these are going to sound like sounds that are very similar to what we have in English. Our first letter here, the bent one with no dot on it, is known as Daal. And by now you're getting used to guessing these shapes and what the sounds mean. Daal is a D sound, as in dog, dandy, divine, D. Okay? That's easy enough. You just have to associate it with that. Okay? This sound, the curve, this is Rayy. Okay? And this letter is going to make an R sound. Now I say makes an R sound. This is going to be more similar to the sort of R sound you have in a lot of Latin-based languages like Spanish, Italian. It's going to be, it's like a flapping sound. Okay, ra, ra. There is rolling to this. Okay, particularly if it's doubled. Okay, so it's not exactly the r of English, but it corresponds very closely to an R sound. And this one, we put a dot on it, becomes basically a Z sound, just like you have in English, zipper. Okay, Works just like that. Okay, so far, those are three fairly simple sounds to recognize. The R, and the Z. Okay, no problem. Now, you notice I've skipped one. Okay, this is probably the trickiest one to learn. Now, the good news is this is a sound that you have in English. We use it every day. This is Dhaal, the Dhaal. So you hear the beginning of it, it's a the, as in the, these, those, them. Okay, no problem. When this is transliterated, it's sometimes written like that, but that doesn't really reflect the pronunciation. Now, there's no problem there. What is the tricky part? Well, if you remember, we learned already a letter, tha. Now we've just learned the. Now these both correspond to sounds in English. The problem here is not Arabic. The problem here is that in English, this combination, TH, is used to reflect two very different sounds. Now you probably never thought about that. You've probably been using this your whole life and didn't realize that we're using this same combination to refer to two very different sounds. In Arabic, as I said, it's what you see is what you get, and so Arabic uses two different letters for these two different sounds. So, what do I mean by that? Let's take a look at two words. Now in English, they look like they have the same beginning sound. And if I asked you, you would probably say, yeah, they start with the same beginning sound. But if you even look at yourself in the mirror pronouncing these two words, you'll see that they're not the same sound. You don't do them the same way. Notice this one here is think. Think. Notice what my tongue is doing. Think. It's right there. Okay? Notice this word, these. Where's my tongue? It's clearly in my mouth, behind my teeth, behind my closed teeth. These, those, them. So this the is the one we have here. This th is this one here. They're two different sounds. And so this is something to practice getting used to recognizing the difference. You've been doing it all your life, you probably didn't realize it. The easiest way to tell the difference is try switching the two of them. Okay? What if I said think? Think? Not right. These? No. Okay? So you can see the difference. The breathy th sound, which is this one, I tend to think, look, this one has more dots on it, so like there's more coming out. The th is in think, bath, math, thought. These, those, them, thine. They're similar sounds, but they're not the same. That is the sound that we have here. Okay, so keep that in mind and just start to listen to it. If you come across a word in Arabic and you hear it and you don't know which one of these two it is, say I say a word like that, which is actually an Arabic word, or Dhaal, and you're not sure which of the two it is, try both. Dhaal, thal. Okay, it's that one. Okay, that's the easiest way. Try and substitute them. Now, one final point to try and remember the difference between these two letters, okay, and I think this is something that was intentional when the symbols were designed. Notice da, ra, okay, fairly straightforward sounds. They don't have anything on them. Notice the, z. What do you hear? Sort of like a buzzing sound. Z, z, z. The. It is a buzzing sound. Your tongue is making a buzzing on your teeth, and that's what this dot represents. The. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Let's look at them in some words and see if we can pick them out. Okay, here are our words, and you should be able to sound out all of these by now because we have all the letters. So let's look at this first one. What do we recognize? Well, this is the sound. Remember that little dot up there for the z, for the buzzing, for the vibration. The. An aleph, ta, that. This word is actually pronounced exactly like the word that in English. It doesn't mean that, but that's the way it's pronounced. Here again, two of our new letters, and you recognize all of them. D, Aleph, and R, Dar, Dar. Dar is another word for house, for a large house. Okay, Dar, that. Notice this one. This has a few of the things we've learned. Okay, so this, which letter we have, it's got the dot. So remember the dot, the buzzing sound, the Z. This is our Z. But what do we have here? This combination, we remember, that was our diphthong, right? The wow with the diphthong and our gene. So this all put together, how would we say this? Zauj, Zauj, Zauj. Zauj is a husband or a spouse. Okay? This, very simply, the D sound. Dub, dub. And this one has two of our letters. The Z again, Aleph, Ra, Fatah, Zara, Zara, to visit. Okay? So now, I think you have everything you need to practice these. We have some exercises to listen, particularly getting used to listening to the difference between the and the th sounds, and for writing these. And we'll see you next time, inshallah.